What do you make of Jet Airways? Will it ever fly again?
Let us wait till 10th of May. That is the date when the bidding process will be over. I won't make any guess or comment till 10th of May.
But what are the problems in getting Jet to fly again? What are the issues right now?
The issue is about that they incurred huge losses. That is common knowledge. And if it has to fly again, who funds the past losses and the liabilities, and how much? So these are some of the questions, but which we have left to the potential bidders. They will make their assessment. And on 10th May, we would know whether there is any proposal and what is the outline of that proposal. So probably it will be a better idea to have any more discussion only after 10th May.
So the progress in finding the suitors, what are the indications so far, and why is it so difficult?
No, I told you the liabilities or the losses are considerable. We have to remember that Jet Airways, their tangible net worth is negative by 13,000 crore. And if it has to fly, it has to be made positive. How do you make it positive? So these are some of the very complex questions. There are liabilities to lenders, there are liabilities to creditors, there are employee liabilities. So all these past liabilities, and then profitably whether it can fly in future. These are some of the considerations which are weighing upon the minds of the potential investors. And definitely we have given almost, I would say, 3 weeks for this process to be done. And that process is still on.
Is there a sense of how much banks will have to take of a haircut?
Not at this stage, because that is what we have left to the potential investor to come forward and tell us, and then all the lenders and all the creditors, if there is a proposal, they will examine and decide whether the proposal is acceptable, not acceptable. But I think there is a general belief that Jet Airways was a good airline, and the sector is feeling the pinch and its absence. And if something can be done, it should be done. That has been a very consistent stand of all stakeholders, that if possible, then Jet Airways should fly again. But yes, everybody is aware of the complexity and the difficult situation in which it is.
What spillover effects do you see in India's aviation industry?
You know, one is, of course, that the prices for consumer has gone up, and busy season will start in July. And the government has tried to create or enhance the capability by allowing other airlines temporarily to increase the seats or take on lease the planes. But the biggest issue is around the pricing for the consumer, where the dream of the government and Indians have been that the flying should be very affordable. And unless we have more airlines, not fewer, how do we achieve that dream?
I want to touch on the banking space. Technology has disrupted the banking industry across the board. How is technology disrupting and shaping the banking industry in India?
No, we are ourselves part of that disruption. We are ahead. At State Bank of India, I can say that the approach has been be yourself innovative despite being a legacy bank. And you can be innovative. That is what we have proved in India, and today State Bank of India, despite being a government-owned bank and a legacy bank, it is considered amongst the most advanced as far as technology is concerned.
So you're not threatened at all at this point in time because you feel you're ahead of the curve?
Yes, so we are not threatened, but we never take the competition or any threat lightly. That would be the last thing we will do. So our approach has been collaboration with fintechs. We have a very active engagement program, and besides we have a very strong in-house team which keeps on working overnight, and there are several thousand people who are working on the technology in all areas. And the kind of work which has been done in the last 2 to 3 years, that has started giving results. So if you look at the end-to-end digitization of the bank, and which includes the latest mobile application, YONO, you only need one. That itself is causing quite a disruption. In fact, we came out just 2 months back, where for cash transactions, and there will not be a need for the plastic card. Using the mobile application, and we will enable you to withdraw cash from an ATM, and in next 3 months from other cash points. And that is a huge disruption in itself, because every day we see the skimming, the theft identity. So using an ATM card, it has become such a huge psychological barrier for the people. They're fearful that if they use the card and their data will be stolen or systems will be hacked. And once we successfully roll it out over, say, 1 million point in 1 year's time, and then we will have to ask this question, do we really need a plastic debit card? So that is the kind of disruption which is coming from a legacy bank like State Bank of India.
Rajneesh, SBI seems to be on track. How about the other banks? Do you see Indian banks owning e-commerce platforms to compete with the likes of Amazon, for instance, Flipkart?
Not owning, but be part of it. As I said, that today for YONO we partner with almost 100 merchants. And
but how about your other competitors? How about your competitors? Do you see, what trend do you see developing?
So basically, as far as the e-commerce payment space is concerned, so all banks, because there are various enablers in that space, so all banks will be part of that payment system. But right now, it is dominated by State Bank of India and 3 private banks. 4 are the major players as far as the domination in the payment industry is concerned, and e-commerce is one of them. E-commerce, the competition is, I would say, heating up in India with the entry of Reliance and their ambition to be in the e-commerce. They have already established their presence as far as the physical retail is concerned. So the scenario is interesting, but bank would not own an e-commerce site, but bank like State Bank of India, our vision is to partner with them.
Still in, I guess, nascent stage, still very early days. What kind of growth potential is there? Can you quantify that for us?
The growth potential is huge. One is that...
What's huge?
No, I will define. One is that when we talk about the e-commerce, as a bank, what do we get out of it? We don't get any commission, because under the Banking Regulation Act, which was enacted 50 years ago, it did not imagine e-commerce. So today bank, even if I do a redirection to any of the e-commerce site, so bank doesn't get anything. We are using it as a hook, the new generation. So they are very enamored that using one mobile application, which is today their universe revolves around, and if they can do their banking, they can do their investment, they can do their insurance, they can book their taxi, they can book a movie, they can buy on Amazon, they can buy on any other site, and which offers special offers to YONO customers. And that is where this hook is coming.
Rajneesh, I want to jump in here. Plans for IPO for SBI Card as well as SBI Jan slated for the second half. How much of a stake? What are you hoping to raise? And what will the money used for? Quickly.
So very quickly, one is that the objective is not for raising the money for State Bank of India. From the corporate governance perspective and visibility perspective, we are very keen that we do an IPO both for SBI Card and SBI General. And we also believe that there is so much interest in these companies, and in fact any other company which belongs to a State Bank group. So the investor interest is huge. We are seeing it when IAG, who is partner in
amount to be raised quickly. How much will you raise?
No, we have not decided on the amount. As I said, that it's not about raising the money. It will depend upon how much our partners want to dilute and establishing a good value, good benchmark.